of the Divisional Round playoffs on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M19 Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M19 Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about his individual performance from last week's game. I mean, he did throw 4 touchdown passes, so he's in sync with his receivers, and they're very confident. Did have 1 interception.
Yeah, the 1 pick.
And
they lost.
Yeah, so no matter how many touchdowns he threw, if it comes in a loss, he's not going to be satisfied.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And you gotta leave.
And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And this will be incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And this one is incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And what a sophomore season he had for the Cardinals. Pretty much swept every major quarterback award, including the Heisman Trophy. And we spend a lot of time talking about his legs. Formidable. He can run the ball like few others, but the key to everything for him is his ability to be accurate from the pocket.
Leopard! No, Jack, Patriot!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for nothing on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Bortles to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Johnson running right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They go to Johnson again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. this over to Westbrook. It's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing is Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. T.J. Yeldon taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's T.J. Yeldon able to finish it off with a rushing touchdown. On the return, it's McKenzie. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Here's Jackson to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch. But underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get. Because
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got Smead. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? 3rd and goal, Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They didn't really.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson taking it in. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back up.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 44, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete here.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
On 2nd down, Johnson trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles.
They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. So they do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Terrell Suggs. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Bortles over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And take it right at the 35. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Michael Crabtree and company now heading back onto the field. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. The Ravens on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Again, it's Johnson looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And he uncorks a beauty, best of the day. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers doing battle with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional round. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Detroit! Detroit!
And on the ground they go with a running back. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
No. Check. Patriot! Leopard!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Telvin Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
380!
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Levante David. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Now it's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Malik Jackson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. There for the tackle, Blair Brown.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well. Because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone.